A ripped RV window or door screen isn't just an eyesore, it's also a superhighway for all sorts of creepy crawly things with wings you probably don't want to share your bed with. Ours behind me is starting to look like it survived a cat fight with a bear, and last weekend we had more skeeters in here than Jurassic Park. So today, we're going to do a little maintenance and fix it. And we'll show you how it's done for under 15 bucks. Welcome back to the Camping Loop. Truth be told, it wasn't cats that caused this fiasco. Most of this damage happened when we had a line of storms roll through on opening weekend, and we have two dogs that are convinced the thunder's coming to eat them. They're pacing and panting, and suddenly the 80-pounder thinks he's a lap dog that can fit under my shirt. The other one's scratching at the door like he's stuck in an elevator with someone who just farted. And if you've ever had the pleasure of camping with cats or dogs, or maybe even kids that can't behave, you're probably in the same boat. And I know what you're thinking. What the hell am I, an engineer? But you don't have to be. Trust me, it's easy. First thing you gotta do, gather some tools. If you're working on a Coleman, you're gonna need one of these square bits to remove the door. Otherwise, a Phillips head will probably get you there. Something to remove the old spline with. We're just gonna use this poker here, flathead screwdriver, spatula, whatever you got. A pair of scissors, probably not from your wife's kitchen block, or the ones you've been cutting rusty cans with. Need a razor, trim up all the excess, and then material. We picked this stuff up at Home Depot here. It's a screen repair kit. It says pet resistant. Does it work? I have no idea. We've never used it before. Comes with the spline tool or roller, whatever you want to call this guy, and the extra spline. Next thing you want to do, go ahead and remove the door. It's really simple, just a couple bolts all the way down. You're going to need your square bit for this. Get that bolt out of there. You don't want to try to do this while the door is still on the frame. It's not going to work out well. Just unlatch here, pull right off after you get the screws out. We'll set it over here on the workbench. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever heard this rumor before, but Coleman might be known for using scrap parts. And you can see here what they did with the original spline. It doesn't attach anywhere around except this one long piece goes all the way to here. Really, we only need to replace this part of the screen. There's nothing wrong with these, and this is the one they're going to rip up. So we're going to have to cut the spline here and here and then tuck this part under. Grab your little trusty razor. Just eyeball it. It ain't got to be perfect. Give her a couple there, you know. And then grab your little pick, or your screwdriver, whatever you got. We'll cut this part right out of here. I'm going to go a little deeper though. Watch your fingers. You can grab your pick and you kind of jam this part right back down in there. Lock it in, or your screwdriver, whatever you're using. That way now everything's separate and we can just replace this bottom part. Now that that's cut, we can start removing all the old spline out of here. You might not have to replace it. It's going to depend on how brittle it is or if it's stretched out or whatever the case may be. The kit does come with some. You can just buy the screen separate if you wanted to, and this stuff's like $3 or $4 a bundle or roll, whatever you call it. If yours is built the right way, and it's connected all the way around, you want to start wherever they ended it. This one obviously doesn't matter, so we can just kind of pull these out of here. And again, grab your screwdriver or whatever you need to get it started. And they just pull out. Now if you're going to reuse it, kind of remember where they go. We'll just make a little box so we have an idea. Oops. It's ready. I'm under attack! You see that?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Anyhow. He's out for blood. And this old crappy screen just pulls right out. There you go. Next thing we did is get all our spline cut. The new stuff we are going to use, we just did that by measuring up what the old stuff was. This stuff just seems more pliable, I guess would be. Go ahead and pick a side. Now, when I start this, I don't actually cut mine. I just roll it over. Just gives you a little bit of pulling power here. Just kind of measure up where it needs to start. And you grab your little fancy tool, I don't know, the side that's dented in. And you just kind of slowly work your way down. And you can pull this tight. It doesn't matter so much on the first piece. After we get this one in, I'll show you guys a little trick we do. Make sure that this stays nice and tight without any wrinkles. But you just roll this down on in here, just like so. And I like to take the other side, really push it in. After you guys get your first piece in here, a little tip I can give you when you're doing screen installations is to grab yourself a weight, a block, a rock, a brick, I don't care what it is. We're using a wheel weight from the camper. I like to set this in the middle, and what that's going to do is help keep this tight. And again, we haven't cut the roll, so at the end of this, we're going to be able to pull it taut. And you'll see what I'm talking about here in just a second with a little bit of weight there in the middle. Then we start our second piece, and you just kind of want to line it up to where you left off on the first one and get her started. And while you're doing this, you're just pulling it tight and kind of get this guided where it needs to go. And you're just going slow. You're not trying to ream the whole thing in there at once. Something like that. This one's a little bit long. We're going to have to cut that off. Let me grab my razor. I didn't measure right, apparently. Now we got that in, we'll go ahead and flip this baby around here. We can have some working area. Put my weight back on here. And on to number 3. Before I start the third one, this is where you actually want to start pulling things and making sure that you're pretty tight and lined up, of course. Oops. Oops. There we go. And I go slow and pull it tight. This is where you wish you had your third hand. And you take your other side, really push it down. This last one's what's really going to make or break you. This is why I leave this thing rolled up. Gives you something to really yank on when you're trying to get it tight. And just get it started first of all. Boy, this tool is a really nice one. Once you get it tight started, you just kind of pull it tight and work your way down. And it's easier if you do it on a table, not a pickup truck bed, that's for sure. Oh, let's get that tight. I think we went a little bit long on this one too. Maybe not. Yeah, let me get something to cut that end off. And grab my tool here. this side down. And then really push this one in. Once you get your last piece in, you can see where the weight comes in handy and how tight it keeps everything. And when you pull it off, she's pretty good. Better than that. Next thing we're going to do is just grab our scissors and yop this off here. Don't have to be perfect. We're just rough cutting it, obviously. And we'll save that for when they break it again. Then I like to actually grab mine and go around and trim some of this. Then we'll take the razor and come around here. Get rid of some of this excess here. Let me spin this here. Once you get her cut down to manageable size, you can take your razor and go ahead and carefully trim right along the metal edge. And don't cut your fingers off here. New razor is going to go a long way helping you guys out with this. Don't try to use something dull. Once you're done trimming everything up, I like to take your flathead or your poker, whatever it may be, and push each corner down. Try to prevent them from popping back up. And I kind of deform them a little bit so that way we don't have any issues on the end. It's like so, look at that. After an hour or so of struggling getting your screen in, you can put your door back on. You just line up the holes. Everything should go back where it's supposed to. I like to start in the middle. Kind of holds everything for you. Another tip you can do is go ahead and latch it here. Help hold it. And these stripped out ones. It should pull everything back tight. Exactly where it was. Look at that. Now, if you've been with the channel for a while, you probably heard me preach on and on about maintenance and how important it is. Matter of fact, we keep a maintenance log right inside the camper. That way, any problems that we notice while we're out on the road, we can just jot down and makes it extremely helpful. You got to get on these problems right away, no matter how small, to help prevent bigger ones. Anyway, hopefully if you're in this boat, this video helped you out at all. And if it did, go ahead and hit that button for me down below. As always, we appreciate you guys watching. We'll catch you in the next one.